What's up, World Summit Fitness? Your favorite Afro on YouTube, coming at you with some more fitness and health, wellness tips, all that good stuff. This is part 2 of deconstructing the pistol squat. Now, if you have not seen part 1, the link is in the description. Check it out. It's not just so much of getting the pistol squat for the sake of the pistol squat, but really understanding how the body ties together in its different facets, from the foot all the way to the top of your hair. And the reason why I mentioned the pistol squat as such a very useful assessment, exercise, drill, whatever you want to call it, it really does show how the body's hips and lower extremities are pretty much working in tune with the midsection and the core. And training for the pistol squat just helps so much, relieving ankle tension, ankle immobility, toe strength, tibialis strength, knee health and knee stability, the functionality of your hips from a stable standpoint and a mobile standpoint. You know, the hips can do a lot. They're powerhouses. And let's not forget the correlation between your hip and your glute. The glutes are the most massive powerhouse ever, but there is this nice term going around the internet called glute amnesia, which I kind of like, because it's like people don't know how to really use their glutes. And so I am using the pistol squats, mechanisms, biomechanics, and the whole structure of the movement to pretty much illustrate to you guys exercises that may not be the most sexiest or the flashiest, but when done enough and incorporated in a daily warm-up, in your movement routine, whatever the case may be, or in your actual standalone program, these exercises that I'm going to demonstrate not only help you get the pistol squat because it trains the body in such a fashion, but it also just makes you feel stronger. When you start getting into single leg squat training, not just the pistol squat alone, you can do split squats, rear foot elevated split squats, whatever the case may be, you will recognize that your hips start to become these like pillars of strength and just stability. And it's a very, very unique sensation. And those who are only, doing single leg training know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, let's get into some of the exercises, and I will demonstrate to you the reasons why they're amazing as well. Okay, so the first movement is something that everybody begins in the start of their journey, but never continues to enhance or progress, and that's the side plank. You perform the side plank with a lying leg lift here, or any side plank variation. It'll help your glutes tremendously. And the reason why you want to work your lateral chain, if you do these, especially before single leg squat training, you will feel an immediate notice in your stability. And the reason why is because your hips tend to shift and get all wobbly going left and right when performing the pistol squat. It generally seems to be like the favorite zone of where people's bodies tend to fall out of. You'll notice there I did a little variation with the arm, overhead, bent, play around with different side plank variations, but doing the leg lift is fantastic. So that's your lateral chain. Now we go posterior chain, another goodie, and it's hip extension, hip extension, hip extension. Guys, bridges cure sitting, and there's no way you'll be able to ever attain a pistol squat if you do not train your hip extension in the correct fashion. You'll notice that I did 2 legs, I did single leg. Another variation here is your shoulders elevated instead for a much more deeper range of motion. You can go for reps, have the leg bent, have the leg straight. Look at the hamstring working, and the glutes also fire as well. These isometric holds, when you do them, you will immediately notice some trembling sensations going on in the hips, and that's a good thing. That's your hips fighting for stability, and you want to have hip stability and hip mobility all at the same time. I also want you to notice that I'm training barefoot, and I mentioned that in the previous video with the wall squat and mobility drills overall. The more time that you spend barefoot, the more easier all your squats are going to be in wearing shoes in the first place. And now for the mobility drill. This is a fantastic one. It's rocking with your feet or your toes curled in, and then they'll be curled out, as you'll see in a few. The reason for this is because you are training your vestibular system, your sensory system, aka your balance system. Rocking and a whole bunch of other primitive infant style movements are the exercises we used as kids to gain balance and to be able to stand on 2 feet and get our gait patterns back. So if you're practicing your pistol squats, I highly recommend adding rocking in between your sets as a mobility drill. And there's a lot of variations that you can do on that as well. Now we go for something a little bit more conventional in a sense. We're training that posterior chain again and again, hip extension, hip extension. Glutes are involved in the hip extension tremendously. And the dead stop kettlebell swing I have found to be a very solid maneuver. Now, you do not need yoga blocks. I have yoga blocks because I don't want to scratch up my floor. But this isn't bad either because you can kind of gently set the kettlebell. You have a marker to make sure you always touch the same spot, so to say. But there's no momentum here whatsoever. And so it's all hips that are making the kettlebell go up. And moreover, I also want you to pay attention to the fact that the other arm is just as active as the arm that is swinging the bell. And the reason for that is because we are training unilaterally. So we want this phenomenon known as cross-body stabilization. And when we do cross-body stabilization, we knit the body together. We train the lateral chain. We train the posterior chain. And we're also training anteriorly as well with just this one simple movement. Simply going unilateral allows the other side to contract so that you don't go all over the place. That was with a 20 kilo right there. So it's just a fantastic way to start training your movements. There you have it. Those are a lot of exercises that you can do to continue facilitating strength and mobility through pretty much the entire body to help you get the pistol squat. Now, all these movements that I've been showing you guys lately, you've noticed it's all in my house. Truth be told, I have not been to a gym since the pandemic, pretty much. And I don't ever plan on going back. I was doing strongman in the past when I was back in the United States, but I really like the comfort of training at your house or training outdoors in the park. And luckily for me, the weather year round is always about a good 70, maybe 60 degrees. I believe in Celsius, we're talking like, 15. I'm still trying to get used to that little transition. Anyways, Summer Fitness, please like, share, subscribe. At home fitness, bodyweight training, kettlebells, all the good stuff. I'm still staying young and spry to the day I die. So please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget the Temple of Health, my membership site where I pretty much give my best work, programs, essays, articles, private videos, all the good fitness stuff, and programs as well that stretch for the long haul, 12-week programs, 8-week programs, and I always update it every single month. So there are 2 options below for $35 USD a month, or for $300 a year annually. You can get some of the best information for you in your fitness and health goals. Thank you so much. Part 3 for deconstructing the pistol squat coming soon.